Tigwitsi, Halslahel, good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Sitsayaltsa Deborah Parker, citizen of the Tulalip tribes, and I have the honor of serving as the Chief Executive Officer of the National Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition, also known as NABS. NABS formed in 2011 following public outcry about the lasting impacts of the boarding school era. Shortly after Canada launched their Truth and Reconciliation Commission, leaders from the United States and Canada came together to discuss the need for such a process in the United States. NAB supports a community of thousands of boarding school survivors and descendants. On behalf of these relatives, as well as 54 endorsements and 26 resolutions from tribes and national organizations, I am here to strongly support H.R. 5444. Our collaborative work with the U.S. Department of Interior has identified 408 federally funded and supported U.S. Indian boarding schools, as well as 89 additional institutions that receive no federal funding at all. For centuries, these 497 boarding schools operated as a broad system with a singular goal aimed at our children. The stated purpose of the United States Indian boarding school policy was to destroy Indian culture by using education as a weapon. This purpose was clarified by General Pratt in fierce commitment to an agenda of assimilation. Pratt's motto, "To kill the Indian in him and save the man," became a standard for the operation of these institutions. Upon arrival, our children had their hair chopped, their clothes stripped, and their names were replaced with English ones, or often just a number. Children frequently received corporal punishment for speaking their language, practicing traditional songs and ceremonies, and resisting contradictory instructions from their languages and cultures. Methods of punishment included solitary confinement, flogging, whipping, slapping, cuffing, and forcing children to administer punishments to each other, such as the gauntlet or the strap line. Children were subjected to forced labor, neglect, malnourishment, and physical and sexual abuse. Children were beaten to death. This happened routinely enough to compel operators to have cemeteries on the school grounds, often in unmarked graves. This violence affected hundreds of thousands of children, their families, and their communities so deeply that these effects of trauma can be seen intergenerationally. Indian boarding school methods are rooted in the doctrine of discovery and manifest destiny. It has taken generations for us to get to this point of public truth and accountability for the voices of those that have never had the chance to return home, for those that were forever changed by this extremely cruelty, for those that were chained to basement radiators, prison cells, and dark closets, for those that were sexually abused, told to wash up and to return to the marching lines, for those that were told that they would be forgotten. We are here to remind you to remember these children, to tell the truth, to subpoena others who are carrying that knowledge, and ensure that we get the truth that our families deserve. They need to know where their children are. We need our relatives to come home. Thank you for this time. Utig Witsicho. Thank you.
Thank you as well so very much for your testimony. The bells you are hearing behind us is that the votes have been called. So I apologize to our last witness that we weren't able to get you before the votes were called. We will take a recess. We will return as soon as votes conclude. So look forward to us all getting back here as soon as the votes conclude. We anticipate it. We will. Staff will keep you apprised of where we are in that process. I don't want to start prognosticating about them because we can't really tell how long they'll take. But I do want to share that what we have heard so far is incredibly moving. It is important to hear the stories. It is important to hear all of your testimony, as difficult as it may be. Testifying here and in the months and years ahead that these stories need to be heard. So thank you for sharing those with them today, and we will come back as soon as we can. We're now in recess.